70% of lottery winners go bankrupt within a few years. A massive influx of unearned cash dissolves instantly when it hits the real world. That's the difference between financial freedom and financial confidence. Freedom is having a pile of money that allows you to quit a job. Confidence is the internal, permanent skill set required to generate that money from scratch, no matter your circumstances. Most people lack that skill set because they inherit a scarcity mindset. They are raised to view money as a finite, negative resource, repeating phrases like, "money doesn't grow on trees," or "money is the root of all evil." This fear-based programming keeps individuals locked safely inside their comfort zones. Instead of leveraging their income, they spend their hard-earned paychecks immediately on short-term liabilities, like Friday night social outings or depreciating consumer goods. If your internal operating system is still programmed for scarcity and fear, no amount of external cash can save you. You will always find a way back to zero. Mainstream financial advice often paints a picture exactly like this, clutching your remaining pennies over an empty ledger, terrified to spend a dime. We are told to skip our daily coffee and hoard whatever is left. Spending hours trying to save pennies often signals a deep-seated fear of your own capacity to grow. It is a strictly defensive posture, a way to stay within a small comfort zone because the risks required to expand feel far too dangerous. You cannot shrink your way to wealth. True financial momentum requires expanding your resources, aggressively seeking out new avenues of income rather than just aggressively protecting the little you have. Defensive hoarding might create a brief illusion of financial control, but it completely ignores the vital mechanics of income expansion. To build wealth, you have to invest. But there is a non-negotiable rule before you begin. Never deploy capital into assets you do not thoroughly understand. In this wealth hierarchy diagram, everything starts at the glowing center. Tier 1, your own mind. Your brain is your primary wealth-generating machine. You cultivate it by developing high-income skills that command premium value because they solve complex problems. The revenue generated by these high-income skills acts as your baseline fuel. It provides the heavy surplus cash flow you need to eventually purchase passive external assets. You must transform your mind from a passive saver into an aggressive earning engine before you ever step foot into external markets. Once that central skill is built, the diagram expands to Tier 2, business. An enterprise operates exactly like this mechanical engine. It requires constant cash injections into marketing and research just to scale. To keep those engines fueled, wealthy operators use a highly controversial leverage tool, debt. Bad debt is borrowing to purchase depreciating consumer liabilities without a repayment strategy. It siphons resources and halts progress. Good debt, however, leverages borrowed capital to fund acquisitions yielding a higher return than the interest rate, forcing the engine to spin faster. Deploying good debt requires stepping completely past the fear of failure. You have to operate outside the traditional comfort zones of the middle class. When wielded with strict financial literacy, debt functions as a neutral, high-leverage weapon that aggressively accelerates the scale of your wealth. With your internal skills and business generating surplus capital, you move to Tier 3, real estate. You buy undervalued properties, aggressively force appreciation through renovations, and capitalize on rising market prices. Finally, Tier 4 is stocks. Purchasing fractional ownership in a public company grants you a direct right to a portion of its future profits. But public equities carry notable market volatility. Asset prices swing chaotically, and the risks of heavy financial losses are a daily reality. Entering these external markets blindly makes you a prime target for total loss. If you lack research or professional guidance, you are gambling, not investing. Your external market assets will only ever be as secure as the internal financial education and discipline of the person acquiring them. Merely holding a pile of cash means nothing. True financial confidence is possessing the mental architecture to lose every dollar you have and seamlessly rebuild it from zero. Traditional school systems completely ignore this inside-out framework. They do not teach it, which means the burden of financial literacy rests entirely on your own personal accountability. You have to actively reject the scarcity mindset you inherited from your environment. Stop treating money as a finite resource to be feared. Audit your personal strengths today. Stop hoarding your pennies and direct your energy toward acquiring a high-income skill that solves real problems in the marketplace. Steady, final tone. Mastering these rules moves you away from relying on luck, replacing it with a deliberate, repeatable system of financial confidence.